What is going on, everyone? So in this video we're going over what is the best broker to trade penny stocks. Now this is always going to be a debate. People are always going to say this broker is better than this one, I use this one. People are always going to trash you if you use, TD Ameritrade, you use Robinhood. So I want to go over that. I want to go over my experience based off of my experience trading penny stocks. I have a couple brokers that I've used, okay, but I have two main ones that I'm using right now for these stocks, and I'll explain why I'm using those and why those are not the only options. So there's other ones out there that you could actually go for, and I would even recommend you would try them out. But at least when you're a beginner starting out, these are what I'm going to tell you I've used and my experience with doing so. But I would have to say, number one recommendation by far, not even close, you're going to want to sign up for a Robinhood account. It's number one, hands down, perfect for complete platform meltdowns, inability to get in and out of trades during after hours or when news comes out on the stock you're in. And of course, it is by far the simplest and easiest platform to use. So if those three things fit your criteria, then Robinhood is the platform for you. All kidding aside though, Robinhood would probably not be a recommendation. Let me tell you why. When it comes to Robinhood, you are going to have the issue of getting in and out of trades during after hours. Now, when I'm trading penny stocks, what I have found is that you want to have the more hours possible, the better, okay? Because what's going to happen is companies can release news at any time. There was a company yesterday that just released news at 7:32 p.m. Eastern time. So after hours trading on brokers only goes to like 8 p.m. So you only have 30 minutes if you even caught the news. And it made the stock went from like 68 cents to 143 in that period. $1.43, that's insane. So now of course you could have got out the next morning at like 5 a.m. But if you had Robinhood, you wouldn't have been able to capture the top of that move anyway, because your platform shuts down, I believe, after hours trading stops at 6 p.m. or 6:30 p.m. But then pre-market trading starts at 9 a.m. Okay, so the market's open from 9:30 to 4 p.m. Eastern, and if something happens outside of those hours, between the hours of 4 a.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern, stuff can happen. If something does, you're not going to be able to get out of a trade, potentially, if that's where you want to get out. Now, not all the time is it going to be the end of the world, and it's not the end of the world, but at least for me, I would want to make sure I have the ability to after hours trade in case that does happen, or at least to have orders set. So if something happens, I have my orders set, they'll fill automatically, my good to cancel orders, and I don't have to worry. In all seriousness, my two brokers that I'm using right now that are free, they are free brokers, you don't have to worry about all this, paid stuff. Webull and TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim's like actual platform software, okay? Webull has a software as well. I have the app. You can get the software. You can use the web app version. I think TD Ameritrade's coming out with a web app version if they haven't done so already. So what does that mean? It means you don't have to download the software. You can log in if you have Wi-Fi connection, a solid Wi-Fi connection. You can log into the web app online, and it's pretty much going to be like the software, but on your browser. So I've used TD Ameritrade and I have used Webull. Now let's go over the differences of both. Now Webull is where I have my larger account, and Webull I'm swing trading there. So I have not really had to worry about getting in and out super fast. I do not have to worry about executions and stuff like that, like on a super, super short time scale. I'm just saying, hey, I'm putting an order in at this price. If it hits it, it hits it. If it doesn't hit it, it doesn't hit it. That's kind of the way that I'm using Webull. If I want to market order, if I want to get in right now market order, right? So that's kind of that order sell, right? That's kind of how I've been using the Webull platform. So I haven't noticed anything, at least for me, in terms of the speeds. I haven't noticed anything negative. I have nothing negative to say. There may have been one day where it was down for like 10 minutes in the morning, which honestly is not that bad. Almost all brokers are going to have issues at some point. Now you want to minimize those issues with the best possible broker, of course, because if you're in a trade and that trade just so happens to be a quick day trade on a momentum play where you're playing a breakout and your platform goes down in those couple minutes that you're in that trade, that's obviously not going to be ideal, right? So you don't want that to happen, but it's inevitable. It's going to happen at some point with almost every broker. So Webull for the swing trades, larger account there. I have a link down below to get 2 free stocks with Webull. And that's the other thing. With Webull and Robinhood, they're still giving out free stocks for signing up. So you can get 2 free stocks when you sign up and deposit $100 into your Webull account, which is an awesome incentive, I think, just to sign up, because most brokers are not going to do that. For example, the Charles Schwab's, the E-Trades, the TD Ameritrades, which we'll talk about some of those here, they've been around for a while. They already have a big base. They don't need to entice you to come to their platform. type of a deal, right? Now, of course, they want you to come over, but like they're not going to be doing what Webull and Robinhood are doing. And Webull more so because it's even newer, I think, than Robinhood. Webull's like 2 years old. Robinhood's a little bit older than that. So that's that. So that's Webull. TD Ameritrade's other account that I use. The great thing about TD Ameritrade, also free, thinkorswim platform, download it for free. Also, you can have no money in your account. You can paper trade on both Webull and TD Ameritrade. Just notice, like, that's something that I think is pretty cool when you're just starting out. Something cool to have. With the TD Ameritrade is the active trader, and there's like more, I think, more customization. So it's a little more advanced, I would say, than Webull, but at the same time, there's a lot to Webull that I honestly have not even like gotten into. I really don't use it for active, quick in and out momentum day trades, and so I haven't really customized the whole trading side of it, but I have what I need, right? And that's really all that matters. So TD Ameritrade, I think when it comes down to the active trader, if you guys have ever seen the active trader in action, it's really, really cool. It's really, really useful. You can get in and out really quick. It's super easy to have your orders kind of all ready to go. I like it. So that's my thing. So if you're going to be day trading or momentum trading, I would probably say your best bet out of the two free platforms is probably TD Ameritrade for now. Maybe Webull's maybe a little more reliable because TD Ameritrade's also had a lot of issues. One of the groups that I'm in is also kind of very negative on thinkorswim because they say it's always down, has issues, this, that, and the other thing. So there's that. Honestly, I haven't had too many issues on either platform. I would say I've had more issues on TD Ameritrade, but less on Webull, but I've also been using Webull for a little bit less time. So it's kind of get your give and take. When it comes to TD Ameritrade, when you're under $25,000 in your account, cash, margin, whatever, you actually get trading hours from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Now, ultimately, you want that 4 a.m. and I believe you have to have actually over $25,000. It's an interesting way to go about it. I'm not sure if you can call them up and see if they can change that, but that is something that is kind of, because what I've been finding lately is that most companies, times to trade are really from 7 a.m. until probably, the end of the day, right? But really that 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. time period is like the biggest news time period. So if you're trading penny stocks or you're trading whatever, and you're getting news pumps and you're getting a lot of action, a lot of volume, it's going to come in that morning time period, or you're going to have to wait till the end of the day generally, right? Towards that power hour, 3 p.m., maybe a little bit into after hours for fresh news, stuff like that. So that's kind of the deal. And what I would say is Webull kind of has a beat there because you can trade at 4 a.m. So that's kind of the cool thing about Webull. Now, other options that you have, and it's not just those two. Those are two that I have most experience with. Other options that you have E-Trade Pro. Now, when it comes to E-Trade Pro, you have to have, I believe, $1,000 in your account to get access to the features and whatnot for E-Trade Pro. And then there are some, with all these brokerage platforms, if you're trading options and certain things, there are some small fees, but pretty much, for the most part, things are free now. You're not going to be paying commissions on any of these platforms for the most part. Now, when we start getting into other brokers, here's where it kind of gets a little bit interesting. You have things like TradeZero, you have things like CMEG, okay? And these different brokers, you can go into these brokers and get the offshore broker. So not part of the United States. If you do that, that allows you to not have to worry about the PDT rule, which restricts day trades to 3 per 5 day period under a $25,000 margin account. Now, if you have a cash account, it doesn't matter. I have a cash account on TD Ameritrade. It's not at $25,000. I can day trade as much as I want, but that cash does take a day or two to settle. And so in that time period, I can't use that cash that's settling. So kind of, again, it's the same type of deal. But you go to TradeZero, you go to CMEG, and what's going to happen with those is you're going to have different trading hours, which TradeZero has 4 a.m. to 8 p.m., which is awesome. Okay, so you have the ability to do so. But you start talking about the other brokers, other platforms, offshore brokers, they know a lot of people from the United States are coming here because they want to make their way around the PDT rule. They don't have $25,000 to put into an account, and they need a way to day trade without any restrictions, and so that's what they'll do. So you'll have to pay some fees. You might have to pay for some platform, just monthly fees as well. There may be more commissions on these platforms, but they are options as well. So if you have some more money to play with, TradeZero might not be a bad option, or also CMEG is also a great way around the PDT rule, but I believe trading on CMEG is 7:30 a.m. through, I believe, 8 p.m. or you have pretty much the whole time from 7:30 a.m. on, but you miss out on that 4 a.m. to 7:30 a.m., which Is that a big deal? I don't know. It's going to be up to you. And what I found is that I want to have the option to have a good till canceled order in there. And so if it hits it at 4 a.m., awesome. I don't have to worry about it. I want to have that option and ability to get out. That's my take. Again, any broker is going to work for you. You got to just figure out what you need. And once you figure out what you need and what you want, then that's perfect. And you can kind of go with that broker. And hopefully that makes sense and that is the best fit for you. But things will change as you kind of figure out what's best. As you say, hey, I'm noticing, more issues on this platform. I gotta get a higher level platform. I'll pay monthly for it. I'm fine with that. It's higher level. It's not gonna crash as much. I'm not gonna have any issues. I'm gonna get my 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. trading hours. I'm gonna have everything I need with this platform, and so that might be worth it for you. So hopefully that makes sense. With that being said, I have links down below again to Webull, even Robinhood. I wouldn't recommend Robinhood for penny stocks unless you understand what you're using it for. Having multiple brokers is also a great thing. I would recommend having multiple so you have backups. Like for example, right? I have TD Ameritrade, I have Webull, I have Robinhood if I want to use. I use Robinhood for more long term, but I have the option if I needed to get in there, I can use the platform maybe for options trading. Maybe I use Robinhood. It's kind of up to you, and I would recommend having multiple because at least if something goes down on one, you have the other one to fall back on. So that's kind of my take. Again, links down below to get free stocks. When you deposit $100 into your Webull account, getting 2 free stocks up to $1,400 in value. Highly recommend you take advantage of that while it's still around. So that all being said, guys, I'm posting Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Saturday going over my top penny stocks to buy for the next week and reviewing my trades the past week, going into my account and showing you guys everything as I'm growing that account. So make sure you're subscribed, hit the thumbs up button, stick around for those videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.